Have something behind the belt. The challenge for new freelancers is to show potential clients that they have something behind them that makes them qualified to work with. No client wants to be the first and hope for the best. It's too much of a needless risk. Even a nice website and socials with valuable content don't always have to be enough to convince a client. Many of them are looking for information about your previous clients and projects. The more in number and prestige, the better. If it sounds like a name-dropping game, it is. Reference types. Text mention. If you're not sure whether you can use the logo of the company you've worked with, a simple written mention of the company will be a safer option. Freelancers often choose this option when mentioning their former employers and leave the logo treatment for their clients. Company logo. The most popular option is to simply put logos of your former or current clients on your website. If you want to go by the book, you should ask the company whether they agree. Some even go as far as writing a note in the website footer that logos are trademarks of their respective owners. In practice, very few freelancers do either, and very few companies mind or even notice. Use your judgment to distinguish when it's a good idea to ask. Personal reference. The best kind of reference is a quote from your client. Usually, it's an employee who is your point of contact. It doesn't really matter what the quote contains as long as it's positive. Always ask for this. If the client refuses, no big deal. If you can, try to get this quote from the highest ranking person you are in touch with. A CMO sounds better than a marketing manager. Personal references on your website can also contain a photo of the person who gave it to you. We recommend either having all your references with photos or none. If you want to make it easy for the person to agree to this, ask whether it's all right to use their LinkedIn photo. All they have to do is say yes. Previous employers. Even if you're new to freelancing, it's probably not your first experience and you already have worked somewhere before. You can freely list the names of your former employers, the positions you held, and the work you did. As we mentioned, be careful about using logos. It's pretty unusual to list logos of former employers. Working for free. If you can't get work any other way or would like to have more prestigious references, you can offer to work for free. Not forever, just long enough for you to merit using the logo of a given company on your website and being able to say you worked for them. Nobody will ask whether you worked for free. It won't even cross their mind. The problem usually is that small companies that may welcome some free help are not prestigious enough, and their references won't really help you out a lot. And the bigger ones don't or won't accept free help. The solution is to look for companies that are both small enough to take you in, but with a name that rings a bell. We have 2 tips for you: startups and nonprofit organizations. They will be very eager to give you a good reference, so you can ask one from the CEO or any other executive. You can also work on it part-time and even ask for some money later when you both see that you're bringing in real value. Keep in mind, this advice is only for freelancers who are finding it difficult to find paid clients or positions, or those who want an easy way to have a particular startup or nonprofit's name on their CV. Startup. Early stage startups are notoriously strapped for cash and would often be thankful for a pair of hands that don't need to be paid but can still contribute. Many of their employees are part-time or compensated mainly by equity stake with little pay, so your offer won't even look weird. Startups are, by their nature, usually involved in some innovative stuff, which always sounds good. We recommend you look for startups founded by people who have left high positions in big companies and want to build something of their own. Your website can then say, worked on the startup name directly with John Doe, former head of super high position at well-known company. Their HQs are usually in big cities, which will also look good on your CV, especially if you're from a small city. Speaking of location, startups are very remote work friendly, so the pool of startups you can choose from is pretty big. Nonprofit. Another source of valuable references is nonprofit. For obvious reasons, most of them have very tight budgets and would appreciate any free help they could get. The big advantage is that many nonprofits are pretty well known, and even those that aren't have very serious sounding names like National Institute of XYZ, XYZ Foundation, or XYZ Association. Remember, the name dropping is real. 5 references are better than 1. We can certainly all agree that getting 5 references in the span of a year is better than getting only 1. If you want to level up your reference making efforts, join the companies mentioned above or other organizations only for a limited time. The best case scenario is if you can do a project with them that lasts 1 to 3 months or doesn't take up a lot of time, where you can contribute something that's easy to demonstrate and point to. When you tell a client or put it on your website that you consulted for a company, they won't care whether it was for 3 months or for a year. They themselves may only want to get to your services for a couple of weeks, so doing the same for a company you have a reference from is perfectly fine. By stating what we did, we definitely don't want to encourage you to join companies for free for a while, leave without doing anything useful, and then brag about your work for them.